Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? Happy Thursday. It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley, and today we are here to discuss The Real Housewives of Miami, season 7, episode 9. And before we get into it, I just want to let you guys know that I am dragging pretty much everybody except for Guerdy. I let me start off by saying that I don't know if you guys know, but the seating chart for the reunion came out today, earlier in the afternoon, and I am still flabbergasted at the arrangement. Come on in the room, y'all. Come on in the room. Make sure to hit that like button as you come on in the room. It helps push me out in the algorithm. So just, help me out. It's free to like a video. So make sure to like it. Hey, y'all, come on in. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Come on in, y'all. How are y'all doing? Yes, guys. Hey, y'all. How are you guys? How are you all feeling? Yes. So let's get into the Miami reunion seating chart. I have so much to say about that. So the arrangement is Stephanie and Alexia are the first chair. They are first seat next to Andy. Second seats, Lisa and Larsa. And for the third seat, it's Julia and Guerdy. And then you have Marysol, Kiki, and Adriana. If you would have, I promise y'all, if I would have bet money, I would have lost because I just knew for a fact that Guerdy was getting first or second seat at this reunion. We can all agree whether you like Guerdy or not. I think we can all agree that Guerdy deserved first or second seat. She has been the main focus. She was assaulted. It's been all about her for the last for pretty much all the since episode 3. Since Julia splashed that water on her, it's been all about Guerdy. Whether they're gaslighting her, telling her that she's not a part of the group, whatever it is, Guerdy has had one of the biggest storylines so far. We are 9 episodes in. We have about 7 more episodes to go. They were filming the reunion today, and it's just like, wow, what an insult that Guerdy got the third seat. That is way too low. Yeah. The seating chart sounds a mess. Why the hell are Alexia and Stephanie first? I agree. I agree with Kempire. Stephanie bought that seat. Yeah, I think so too. I agree with Kempire as well. I believe that Stephanie bought that seat. There is no way. Stephanie came in, episode 4? And I'm not trying to be mean, but Stephanie hasn't given us a whole lot. Stephanie does not deserve the first seat. And if I'm being frank, Stephanie and Alexia's beef is not that interesting. I don't care. It's not been just must-see TV. It's stale. Yeah, they're playing in her face. They are. Brooke, I'm on the clock. Oh, okay. Hey, when I had to clock into you, oh, thank you. When I watched last night's episode, I was like, Brooke's going to be pissed. Oh, I am pissed. The way Marysol and Alexia played in Guerdy's face, I'm going to be whacking Marysol extra hard because of the comments that she made in her confessional. Just disgusting. Guerdy should have been the first chair, and it's still ongoing. I agree. Stephanie does not deserve it, and she's annoying. Yeah, I don't understand. I keep hearing people say that, well, maybe Stephanie brings it even more in the second half of this season, but I don't know how much more she's going to give. It's all been about her and Alexia's argument. Like, who cares about that? Again, all I have to say is y'all played, and everybody at production, I want to know what the thought process was because Guerdy deserved that first seat. I don't care what anybody says. Guerdy deserved that first chair, period. Who does Marysol think she is this season has shown me why Kenya doesn't like her. Yeah. Yeah, it is shameful. It is shameful. Alexia and Stephanie's beef was never major to give them first seats. I agree. It just reiterates that first seat no longer means much. It doesn't mean much in the grand scheme of things, but I still feel like Andy and production understand the weight of having the first seat. We all know that certain housewives, OG housewives, do feel a way when they're not first seat. Like, you know what I'm saying? We can't deny the gravity that we can't deny that it does mean a lot. Like, it doesn't mean a lot, but it means a lot because we see how some of the women are upset when they are second or third seat. You know, it's a slap in the face, and I feel like it's a huge insult that they would do this to Guerdy, knowing that she has had a hellish season and she's been a centerpiece of. She's had the strongest storyline out of everybody, in my opinion. What's Lisa's storyline? What's Larsa's storyline? I'll wait. What's been Alexia's storyline? Because I'll tell you right now, I don't give a damn about Alexia and Todd and this divorce. Are they or are they not? They're still sleeping around. Like, I just don't care. Marysol, what's hers? What does she have going on? Julia's storyline is this contrived BS that she made up to have some camera time. Stephanie's storyline, besides the beef with Alexia, it's this whole story about her and her sisters not speaking, and we don't know the full story about that. So again, I ask you, who else besides Guerdy deserved the first seat? Because it damn sure was not Stephanie. They're propping Alexia as the queen of the show. I'm so sick of Julia putting her two boys on camera. It's just so wrong and weird. Oh, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Guerdy was a star that season. She deserved first chair. I agree. Guerdy was the focal housewife of the whole season. Oh, yeah. No, I know. She definitely is. She definitely is. And even if she has a mild second half of this season, just what she went through in these last 6 episodes, she deserved first seat off of that alone. Oh, this is a good point. Bravo's trying to sweep all the Mean Girl issues under the rug and act like they can't see what the people are saying. I'm getting tired of watching all these Mean Girl main characters. Good point. I didn't understand at first when you kept saying that Guerdy should leave the show, but last night watching her ache for this white woman to care for her bothered me bad. Yeah, that's why I've been saying it. You need I just think that, listen, my philosophy is you never beg to be anywhere. And when you stay in places, in the words of Iyanla Vanzant, when you stay in places that you dishonor yourself, that's when it's a problem. It shows a subtle desperation when you stay in a group where they're treating you like the punching bag, like how they treat Sutton Strack. That's desperation, to stay somewhere where you know that you're not wanted. When people are showing you actively that they don't care about you, it's time to get up from the table. And it's not about, well, they're going to win if she leaves. No, it's about preserving your sanity, your self-esteem, your dignity, your pride. That's important. And this isn't a case about somebody ran you off the show. No, it's called choosing peace for yourself. And there are times where you can't focus on what other people are saying about you, because they're going to talk about you either way. So, yeah, that's what I've been saying, that Guerdy needs to leave the show for her sake. It's not about a check. It's not about fame. It's about her peace. She is struggling. When she said a few episodes ago in that therapy session that it's bringing her back to high school, she wasn't preferred in school growing up. She was, you know what I'm saying? She was treated like a loser, like an outcast, and those feelings are coming up again. That means it's time to go. You don't stay somewhere. Yes, it shows people that you don't deserve respect. It does. You get more respect from people when you leave. People subconsciously respect and really actually kind of like you, and they admire you when you choose your self-respect over their validation. Even if that person doesn't like you, they will always respect you, because it's like, well, you know what? Damn, I might not like her, but I have to respect her because she's not going to take my crap. That, a lot of people don't have that backbone. They don't have that pride that says, you know what? I don't need this. I don't care if you like me. That's a powerful thing. When you do not care about somebody's validation of you, that gets people angrier when you don't care about their validation or their acceptance. That's the easiest way to piss somebody off. I left a job for less than what Guerdy's living. I don't play with my mental health. I know that's right. Oh, Kiki's getting whacked. Kiki is getting, be clear. But let me just say, these seating arrangements for this reunion, no ma'am. Bravo, you dropped the ball. And it's pretty much a slap in the face, and it's like an FU to Guerdy, because y'all know good and well that Guerdy deserved to be at least second chair at the very least. She deserved to be higher up on that couch, and y'all know it. And y'all are sitting around playing with me, because you cannot tell me that Lisa and Larsa deserve to be in the second chairs, and she's in they're in the second chairs, and she's in the third chair. Absolutely not. But let's open up. We're going to open up. Let's get right on into the episode. So we open up right with two parallel scenes. We see Marysol and Julia meeting up for lunch. Now, let me cover this first. We see Marysol and Julia talking about Marysol's preppy lunch, right? She's hosting a preppy lunch. So Marysol says that she did invite Adriana. Julia's asking, well, what happened between you guys? Because we know that Adriana tore Marysol up on that yacht in the last episode. So Marysol says, oh, she was mad at me because she got offended, all because Kiki told her that I didn't want to be on the same boat as her. And then Marysol says, you know, the mind exercise at Alexia's event, she gave me all the red flags. So now she goes on to say, Adriana is trying to move forward with me. Then why does she keep picking at me? It's just nasty. Then she goes on to add that, you know, for Adriana to pick at her appearance and then for her to body shame her, that wasn't right. And then how Adriana is older than her. And I said, now, Marysol, let me just stop you right now, because you wanting to play victim with Adriana getting on you. Where was that same sympathy when you and Alexia were teaming up and picking on Dr. Nicole for no reason when she was on the show? Y'all picked at that woman every chance you got. She asked y'all several times throughout her time on the show, why don't you guys like me? What is the real issue? What have I done to y'all? Did I take some money from you? Did I steal your man? Because why do you have all this hate and vitriol and you gaslit the hell out of her? So it's okay when you bully somebody, but when somebody else returns that energy to you, now it's a problem. I don't feel any way about Adriana getting on Marysol. I don't care. I really don't care. And girl, that's not really a dig that Adriana is older than you, because she looks amazing. I'm gonna leave that right there. Hey, Robert, thank you for the super chat. Hooray, another live. I'm at work, so I got to type quick. LOL. Well, I hope you're having I hope that your work day is going by fast. And thank you for hopping on the live. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, Marysol needs to answer for the private investigator mess with Dr. Nicole, allegedly. Yeah. Child, Marysol looks a decade older than Adriana. That wasn't a read. It wasn't a read, and I agree, but we gonna leave that alone. So now, we cut over to Adriana and Lisa. They're hanging out. Now, Adriana was at this place for dogs, so dogs can go and have sex with each other before they get neutered. Lisa calling it a doggy brothel had me screaming. So now we see Adriana and Lisa sitting down while Adriana's dog is having sex. And Adriana and Lisa bring up Marysol's preppy party. So Lisa says that she's looking for outfits. And then she says, oh, yeah, are you going? Like, she invited you. And so Adriana says, well, I don't really feel invited, but I'm going to go nevertheless, because I do regret how I acted on the boat. I regret that it was a lapse of judgment. I was drunk. So Adriana goes on to say that she's not proud of it. And I said, again, Adriana, let me tell you something. The viewers, we all loved it. I don't think that you should regret anything, because Marysol has been a mean girl since the show started. So I don't feel any way about you getting on Marysol at all. I wouldn't apologize for anything, because Marysol has gone out of her way to be so nasty and horrible to people. So again, I wouldn't apologize, but that's just me. So now we have Lisa saying that she doesn't like how Julia is forming a bond and a group with Alexia and Marysol, and Adriana is now the outsider. So now Adriana says, well, I don't mind that she is friends with them, the other girls in the group. I respect that, but I don't appreciate the division and the blindness that she's choosing. So now she goes on to say that Julia knows exactly who Marysol is, but all of a sudden she wants to forget that. Now, we're going to touch on this all throughout the recap, but Julia is a prime example of what it looks like when you are an obvious and thirsty and desperado and a social climber. Julia's thirst for proximity to power and status, I mean, she has an insatiable thirst for it, because the positioning to be close to Marysol and Alexia and Stephanie, it is nauseating. If you want to social climb, can you be a bit discreet about it? I mean, it oozes out of Julia's pores that she just wants to be close to who she feels can get her to where she needs to be. Adriana is right on the money about Julia turning a blind eye to how Alexia and Marysol have treated her and other people in the past because she wants to be in with the cool girls. One of y'all made a great point in my last recap where you pointed out that last season, let's not forget how Alexia didn't even want to share a room with Julia, but now they're best friends. It's embarrassing. Oh yes, the way she cozies up to the most important person in the room is scary. Yes, oh, it's very scary. Julia is a disgrace, very much so. Julia's a social climber, but remember, she's a sugar baby. I agree. It's giving Heather Gay vibes. Even Heather Gay is better at social climbing than Julia is. Julia has no shame. None whatsoever. Julia is such a loser. I get secondhand embarrassment. Oh, yeah. And Brooke's going to always whack Julia again and again and again. Oh, you better know it. I have nothing for Julia. Julia is the worst type of pick me. She wants anyone to pick her so she can climb to popularity. It's weird to be like that at her big age. Well, look at Sutton Strack on Beverly Hills. Sutton does the same thing too. The way she ditched Garcelle to be with Kyle and all them, even though Kyle does not care about her whatsoever, is crazy. But there are a lot of Julias in this world, though. There are a lot of Julias in this world. And that's the saddest part of it all. Yes, let's talk about it. That's how she got her wife. Oh, absolutely. She saw Martina in that club and said, let me do what I have to do, honey, because y'all know how I feel. I've never believed that there's actual attraction or chemistry in that marriage, at least not on Julia's part. And I'm going to leave it there. Y'all know what I'm really trying to say, because I don't believe it. That's why Larsa said last season, well, girl, I caught you at the Four Seasons kissing men. And I'm going to leave it right there. But yeah, I've always believed that Martina is truly her meal ticket. Because her belly was hitting her backbone. And she said, how am I going to feed these babies? How am I going to feed myself? And she saw Martina in that club and said, it's time for me to do what I need to do. Okay. She said, honey, yeah, very much so. It gave very much, okay. Let me do what I've seen in certain, let me do what I've seen on Brazzers. Honey. Let me you know what I'm saying? Let me try something new. Listen, honey. She said her belly was hitting her backbone, honey. She was hungry. Stomach was empty. Stomach was grumbling. And she said, I need to get this money. She said, I need to get this money. Oh my. let me just move on, child. She said, in the words of Alexander Rogers, honey, she said, we gonna bump some pocketbooks and lose some change. Yes, honey, she said, get it how you live. Exactly. Listen, she said, honey, times are hard. Baby needs some shoes. Like, the light bill is due. The rent is due. Honey, we need to do what we need to do. Hey, Robert, thank you for the super chat. The seating is a joke. Guerdy should be next to Andy. I'm with Nene. Child, you say, listen, Robert, don't get this live shut down saying all this. My goodness, you gonna get me in trouble. Look at him laughing at Lisa throwing Garcelle's book in the trash. Despicable, a mess. Hey, High Vibe, thank you for the super chat. Julia wanted those additional babies to anchor herself to Martina's bag. Oh, I agree. We see each other. I've always felt that way too. Yes, honey. Yes, they were bumping pocketbooks and losing change. Yeah, okay, yeah, we see very much that. Very much that. So now we cut back over to Marysol and Julia at lunch. And so Julia says, Marysol, I hate what Adriana said to you. Adriana lashing out on you is because she's upset with me that I'm getting close to you guys. So Marysol says, well, girl, you're going where the fun is. Like, me and Alexia are fun. No, you're not. Marysol, stop. You are nobody's fun. Just because you drink from morning to night does not make you fun. Anybody can do that. Like, that's not a special talent. That's like, you've made drinking your personality. It was annoying in the first season. It's annoying now. That's the only interesting thing about you, is that you like a drink. Join the club, girl. Like, I just don't, that's your claim to fame, that you like a good cocktail. Like, okay, and exactly. They're both boring in their friendship. Yeah, they're very boring together. Okay. So now you have Marysol saying, oh, Julia says you can't lash out at people like that, especially when you decide to move forward. So now Marysol says, so speaking of moving forward, Guerdy is in our group and we're going to continue seeing her. What are you doing to move forward? Because when I see Adriana, I just ignore her. Now, Julia, when you said out of your mouth, in terms of friendship, that ship has sailed, but we can be cordial. The fact that you have the gall to think that you get to decide if you want to remain friends with Guerdy is really baffling. Sweetheart, do you not remember what you did 6 episodes ago? You threw a drink in that woman's face. You assaulted her. You don't have the right to say, well, that ship has sailed as far as friendship. No. If anybody's going to decide if you guys stay friends, that's Guerdy. You are in the wrong. What aren't you getting? What aren't you getting? What is not clicking? I was livid when she said that. I said, wait, hold on, come again. I had to rewind that part twice. The audacity for her to fix her lips to say that. I said, girl, who do you think you are? Y'all, Julia is dangerously delusional and self-involved, very much so. Julia is forever the victim, and it's so sickening to me. Yeah, I agree. It's annoying. She's very arrogant, very arrogant. So now you have Marysol now bringing up how Stephanie and Alexia have like a weird dynamic going on. And now Marysol says that she wants to do something for Alexia because she's been on this emotional roller coaster with her and Todd. So she says, Julia, I want you to help me plan something for her. So Julia suggests that they go on a girls' trip to Spain. And now they FaceTime Alexia and they say, hey, girl, I'm here with Julia. We thought it would be a good idea to go back to Spain since you love Spain so much. And now Alexia says, okay, sounds good, but I need to be back by November 18th because Todd's birthday is November 19th. I'm not sitting up here wasting any breath on Alexia and Todd. Alexia is going out sad. This is pure desperation. You are rushing home to a man who packed his bags and left you. Like, I don't know what's clicking. Alexia claims to be this star with such great self-esteem, but I'm confused as to how that is when you are desperate for a man who left you. Any man who can walk out of your life, that door needs to be permanently shut. Shut that door behind them immediately. You never go back to a man who left you, period. It only shows desperation. You never allow a man to tell you more than one time that he does not want you. The minute a man has rejected you, that is it. His number needs to be blocked. If you're married and to file for divorce, divorce him. You don't look back. You don't gamble your self-esteem like that, going back and forth with a man who doesn't want you. Are you insane? Like, that's crazy work. And if I were Guerdy, I'd be reading you down every chance I got about that. You want to sit up here and gaslight me, but the whole time you're going back and forth with a man who doesn't want you. He packed his bags up in front of your son. Didn't even give a damn about Frankie. He left you and your son high and dry. He left you for dead. And you're going to sleep with him still? Are you serious? Are you okay? Like, what's going on? It's a mess. This is Alexia's third marriage. She's getting older, doesn't want to be alone. Well, you can not want to be alone, but you don't have to be desperate for it. This is pathetic. Alexia is the desperado queen. She is. I'm sick of this Alexia and Todd mess. Why would she want to be with somebody that was allegedly horrible to her son? Exactly. The peen is never that good. I need Alexia to stand up. Oh, you have me screaming. She is rushing home to lay on her elongated back to get her rent paid. y'all have me screaming. Y'all will not sit up here and play like this. I am shouting. I hope the oldest son reads her for filth. I hope so too. Guerdy should be in here taking notes for the reunion. I'm just saying, I agree. Okay, wait. Let's talk about this for a minute. Where is Guerdy's trip for cancer? Wait, I'll wait because I wrote that in my notes too. I want to point out how this group does not see it for Guerdy, and they never have. The way everybody rallied around Lisa when Lisa and Lenny were divorcing. Lisa milked that whole thing for a season and a half. They coddled that woman from beginning, middle, and end. The fact that Guerdy literally got, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that when she announced her cancer diagnosis, then they just kept it going like, okay, all right, sorry to hear that. And now that it's on to the next thing. The fact that nobody said, let's plan a trip for Guerdy since she got cancer. The fact that there still has not been any trip or acknowledgement of her cancer diagnosis really blows me. Why are we having a trip for a woman who's about to be thrice divorced and she's still going back with the idiot who rejected her, who left her? Like, I'm confused. Somebody, the fact that the way they coddle Alexia and everybody else drives me up the wall. Why aren't they coddling Guerdy? It's so sad to me. Like, I just don't understand this. It's so aggravating. They didn't even get Guerdy a cake. They didn't even, they didn't even get her an ice cream cone from Carvel. They really don't care about her at all. I mean, they throw Guerdy the scraps. They don't even give her that. They give her the banana peel. She can't even get a banana. It's just like, they don't see it for Guerdy. Guerdy, I keep saying this respectfully, let this be your last season on the show. They don't see it for you. Child, Guerdy has no support and Kiki is an op. I agree. They don't really see her as human. I agree. They expect for Guerdy to suffer. That's what it is. And if I say why that is, child. And yep, and Larsa took away her big moment. Larsa outed her cancer before she could even tell the group. And it's like Guerdy has never had a fair chance whatsoever. It's a mess. So you have Marysol telling Alexia that she does not want to hear Alexia talk about Todd or any man on the trip. It's going to be a dude-free zone. Now, that's impossible with this group, especially with Alexia. So that's not going to happen, Marysol, but wishful thinking. So now you have, okay, so we're done with that scene. And now we get to Guerdy at home. And I thought this scene was touching. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but we see Guerdy's at home and she's on FaceTime with Dr. Jackie from Married to Medicine. I love how Dr. Jackie is like the resident doctor on Bravo. Like you can always find Dr. Jackie advising somebody, right? So anyhow, we see Dr. Jackie and her talking. Guerdy says that her and Dr. Jackie have known each other for a few years. They have some stuff in common, specifically both breast cancer survivors. And we all know that Jackie is a 2-time breast cancer survivor. So she's asking Dr. Jackie for some counseling. And she says, me and Russell are doing well. We're in therapy, but the cancer has affected my sex life. I need some help with that. Dr. Jackie says, I'm going to send you this goodie bag with some lube, all that good stuff. You guys can have a good time, right? So now you have Dr. Jackie giving Guerdy some much needed encouragement. And she says, so many of us watch you. You don't look like what you've been through. She says, Guerdy, I want you to know that we all love you. When I tell y'all when Guerdy was like, "Oh my gosh, Dr. Jackie, don't make me cry." You can tell that Guerdy really needed that because outside of her boys and her husband, she's probably not getting any encouragement. Like, I mean, yes, she has the fans, the viewers are encouraging her. Like, we've shared, said nice things to her. But like in her actual friend group, it seems like this group in particular, she is the odd woman out. Like, they don't give a damn about her. And I don't care how you slice it, that is devastating. The fact that people don't even have a base level of respect for you as a person. Like, they're not even asking her, "Girl, how are you doing? How do you feel? Are you all right?" Like, they really have just moved on like this never happened. And I really liked how Dr. Jackie said, "Girl, we see you and we all love you." That was a moment because people need encouragement. I've always felt like the world would be a better place if more people encourage people because so many people are beaten down by life. And just to see that Guerdy needed to hear some kind words, like, and I don't know, not to get so sappy or sentimental, but just be mindful, if you can say a kind word to somebody every now and again, do it, right? Because you don't know what folks are dealing with. You don't know what somebody's going through. They could be going through the fight of their life, right? So try to be kind, as often as you can. But you could tell that Guerdy really needed that. And I got really choked up watching that because to see this woman be assaulted, they're all laughing at her. Nobody cares about her. They don't listen to her. They don't value her as a person. They treat her like she's subhuman. You can really see that she just needed that. She really needed that. You know. Um. Hey, Brooke, mods in chat. I'm always in the bushes, but I love the heck out of you. And you. Oh, thank you. You're simply stunning. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. I think Guerdy would thrive better with some Black women on the show. I agree. It's bad when this show makes me like Dr. Jackie. Yeah, I was bawling at this scene. Yeah, it was touching, very touching. Dr. Jackie gonna get a check regardless on this network, but this was definitely needed for Guerdy. It was. It is sad. She survived cancer. She thought about giving up. They didn't show up for her. No support whatsoever. Yes. When she admitted that she didn't even want to live anymore, she wanted, when you think about that and to have those thoughts about not wanting to be alive, and then on top of that, you have your friends nowhere to be found. You get assaulted in your friend group, and they're all still blaming you for your assault. Like, that would drive anybody. That would drive anybody crazy. Guerdy should follow Dr. Nicole and not come back. I agree. I felt it for Guerdy in that scene. Yeah, I thought Kiki would have had her back more. Same. They would have more sympathy for a stranger. Yeah, she had to throw her own celebration of life party. Yes, they didn't even throw her a party. Didn't even buy her a cake. She couldn't even get some ice cream. They couldn't even bother to bake her a homemade cake. Like, they literally don't care about her. They couldn't even buy her an ice cream cone from the Mr. Softy truck. Like, do you know how bad it is when they can't even show up and just say, "Girl, how are you doing?" They can't even they won't even get her a bottle of water. Like, they really have no regard for this woman whatsoever. Not even a card, honey. Not even a dry chicken breast. Not even a Popeye's biscuit. Like, they won't get that woman anything. They all showed up empty-handed. Exactly. Do they even visit her outside of when Julia followed Nicole? No, I don't think so. Alexia backtracking on social media is pissing me off. She's so fake. Well, that's how Alexia always is. Alexia is such a coward, and anytime she's called out about something, she wants to run it back and act like, no, I didn't mean anything. She always pulls the same stunt, and I'll bet you guys money that she's going to be in that reunion crying and sniffling and sobbing to get back in everybody's good graces. Yeah, not even a Duncan Hines cake. Like, they don't care about her. They won't even give her a 50-cent bag of chips from the corner store. Like, the woman can't even get a hot Cheeto. She can't even get a Funyun. Like, she can't get anything. Just a mess. So you have Guerdy telling Dr. Jackie that she had her celebration of life party. She did it her way. It didn't work out in her favor. And then she says that she's in a friend group that refuses to listen to her side, and they're pretty much just not in her corner. So you have Dr. Jackie saying, well, sometimes you have to thank them. They're there to build you up and make you strong, and turn around and thank them, right? Listen, Dr. Jackie, I appreciate you for always trying to take the high road at times, but we have to be so for real. Nobody wants to hear that cheesy advice. When you're going through, when people are actively trying to take you out, when folks are actively trying to, they're actively plotting on your downfall, nobody wants to hear, well, just hit them with a smile, right? You want to hear, get back at them. You know, like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I feel like Dr. Jackie could do a bit better with advice, because I feel like a better piece of advice would be like, girl, you should say something, speak up for yourself. Don't let them silence you. Maybe you might have to leave the friend group because they're not seeing it for you. That's just me, though. You know, I don't know. I just feel like, yeah, those silly platitudes are meaningless. I agree. Yes, I feel the same way. I just kind of feel like, okay, Dr. Jackie, I'm just so tired of all this. Let's take the high road. Like, no, listen, there's a time and a place to smile and pick your battles. But in this situation, I feel like Guerdy has every right to lash out and let them know, you guys are not going to sit up here and play in my face like this. And also, Dr. Jackie has always given me kind of cold, like a very cold bedside manner. Even though she was really sweet, the way she consoled and gave Guerdy those kind words, when it comes to advice, she can be very like detached and giving you this BS advice that's not helping anybody in the real world. Because what is that? Yeah, sorry, but Dr. Jackie is not the brightest with advice. She's not. Killing with kindness is not even real in court. I hope Guerdy does not hold back or accept fake apologies at this reunion. Don't accept apologies for TV. Well, I can see it happening. If Guerdy is somebody who wants to be on this show the way Sutton Strack does, I could see her accepting their apologies just for TV. You have me screaming in this chat. You said, wow. You said Dr. Jackie is nice, nasty, and her husband is bad built. You have me screaming. Oh, gosh. I can't stand Curtis. I can't stand looking at him. I cannot stand Curtis. I really can't. Y'all are really on 10 today. I'm screaming. So now we get to the next scene, and we have Stephanie, her husband Masood, and Julia and Martina on a double date. Did anybody catch, like, I paused this scene for a minute, because when you look at Julia's face when they sit down, Julia's entire body language reeks of, oh my gosh, look at me having dinner with the wealthiest couple on the show. Like, I'm trying to be her best friend. The vibes gave, I mean, to say it's social climbing, that was like social climbing on 1,000. Julia's desperation when it comes to getting close to Stephanie reeks on a level that I cannot even describe. Like, I can smell it through the screen. That's how much it reeks. Her desperation is just, she can't even contain herself. She was at that dinner table like she hit the jackpot. It's embarrassing. Yes, very much so. And Martina looked a fool. Martina looked horrible. I mean, Martina always looks a mess, but she looked a mess at this dinner date. I said, girl, what is this? What is this? I'm so sick of seeing her and her. I'm so sick of seeing the both of them on my screen, but especially Martina. So now we have Stephanie asking, how are their babies? Martina says that they're getting settled in. We see a clip of Julia making them some lunch. And then Martina says that they still cry whenever we leave to go out. So now Stephanie was real shady when she said, well, how old are you guys going to be when they turn 20? And I said, that's a very good question because Martina is already 80 years old now. So Lord knows how old she'll be when those kids turn 18, 20. So Martina said, so Julia says, oh, Martina just turned 67. Baby. When Martina said, well, actually, I'm 68, I couldn't stop laughing. Now, this makes sense. This made sense to adopt a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. And you guys are what? Julia's what? 50? How old is Julia? 58? And Martina's 68? That makes sense to adopt babies at those ages. So Martina is going to be 88 and Julia's going to be what, 78? I'm not understanding the thought process. Like, let me get off of that. Let me get off of that. Oh, you said Martina is 94. My God, today. You said Julia is 67. My God. You said they're always going to get it from me. Julia and Martina didn't tell their daughters they would be adopting the boys. Oh, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Give me 2 seconds. Give me just 2 seconds. Julia's 53. She is? Are you sure? Are you sure about that? Child. Listen. So now we get to Stephanie. Oh, Stephanie says that she's turning 40 in a couple of days. And now Masood says to Martina, he's asking her that, does she miss playing tennis? So Martina says if she could still play, she would, but she doesn't miss the stress. She says that when she retired in 94, I said, she retired in 94? I said, girl, how old are you? You retired in 94? I thought Martina retired in like 2004 or 2014. She retired 30 years ago? I said, well, my God, girl, how long you been playing tennis? Martina's been playing tennis since what? 1937? I said, girl, how long you been playing tennis? She retired in 94. I said, my God. Oh, so I said, wow. So Martina, Martina's been here for a long time. She retired in 94, now 04. Honey, she was playing tennis in the Great Depression. You said Martina's been playing since World War I. Yeah, she retired before I was born. Yes, that's what I said. I said, wait. I said, what? Y'all have me screaming in the chat. But yeah, I was very taken aback by that. I had to rewind that back too, because I said 94. So anyhow, she says that when she retired, her mom told her that she looked 10 years younger because the stress was gone. Now, Martina, you were already 62 in 94, so you didn't look 10 years younger anything. Okay, you were old even when you were a young woman. You were old when you were 20 something. Like, what are you talking about? So now you have Stephanie saying, well, cheers to you. Cheers to all of us. Julia, you and I, we bagged the best. I said, Stephanie, girl, if it's true with what they're saying about how you got with Masood, not too much. And I know Julia said, yes, honey, I definitely hit the jackpot because she was on her last leg. She was up Schitt's Creek by the time she had broken up with one of the baby's fathers of her daughters. So she saw Martina and said, oh, let me hit this lick right now. So I know Julia was like, cheers to us. Okay. Because she's thrilled that she got with Martina. Yes, Julia are two sides of the same coin. Exactly. So now we have Stephanie asking Julia if she has siblings. Julia says that she has one brother. He's 12 years younger. He lives in Moscow. She visits him once or twice a year. They're super close. So now Stephanie says that she has twin sisters. They don't speak right now. And Martina's like, oh, well, what happened? So Stephanie says that we don't speak the same language. Now, Stephanie, I have an issue with housewives, especially new housewives who join these shows and give us these half stories. Either tell us what really happened or leave it on the playground. The same way I was annoyed with Angela on Atlanta when she was telling us half stories about her family troubles. The same with Danielle from New Jersey and that whole thing about her and her brother not speaking. Either give us the full story or shut your mouth about it. Because all this tight-lipped, well, we don't talk. Why don't you speak? You're talking in code. You're not saying what really happened. Either tell us what happened or shut up. I'm going to need Bravo to say, if you're going to bring these stories onto the show as your storyline, you have to give us the full story and the truth. Because this isn't going to cut it about we don't speak, but you won't tell us why. Either tell us or shut up. Just my 2 cents. Exactly. Baby, I want to hear from the sisters. Also, the sisters don't speak to the parents either. Exactly. Because the parents, I feel like, have been bought off by Stephanie. They're siding with the wealthiest daughter. I am screaming. They said Julia was popping it like a pistol when she was a young gal. I am screaming. Bravo can't let people bring family drama without the family. I agree with that. Yes, it feels like a Scooby-Doo caper. Exactly. Yup. Stephanie does not speak to her sisters. Her husband does not speak to his children. They're the problem. I agree. It's probably Stephanie's fault and the parents want the money, so they side with her. I agree with that. I need the sisters and Masood's daughter to come out with the truth. I agree. So now Stephanie's like, well, I'm sorry for being so depressing. And now Julia says, no, it's okay because we're dealing with that right now. We find out that Julia's daughters do not speak to her or Martina. They are pissed with them due to the new family dynamic. So she says that it's growing pains for all of us. I said, lady, shut up. Your daughters are not speaking to you, rightfully so. So now Julia says that the adoption of the boys came as a big surprise to her daughters. They haven't met the boys yet, and they're angry at them because Julia and Martina failed to communicate that they were going to adopt the boys in the first place. So they're not in the best place. She says they're still not processing this big change in our lives, and I have no idea what to do. I tried to talk to them about it, and they won't hear it. So now you have Martina saying, well, it's sad because you don't get that time back, and time is precious. I'm going to stop you both right here. Julia and Martina, y'all are determined to be the victims. We are not buying these Karen tears. Julia and Martina, you think that it makes sense for you to pop out to your kids and say, surprise, we've adopted a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old? Are you kidding me? You don't spring that on your other children. What, are you insane? That's a huge life event. This should have been talked about years ago. Anybody would be pissed. I wouldn't speak to my parents either if they pulled something like that. But what are you talking about? And also, one of y'all made a great point on Twitter. One of y'all said that Julia's daughters are probably thinking about how, since they're so old, Martina is 68, their mom is in her 50s, adopting these 2 little boys. If they go, they could, if they go soon, let's be honest. I mean, they're up there in age, right? They're going to have to be the caregivers to these 2 boys. Like, Julia, your thought process made no sense. You have nobody to blame but yourself. This was a selfish decision. This was selfish AF. I'm sorry. And also, I agree. She didn't even know her daughter's school. Exactly. I knew Julia was full of it when she couldn't even tell her she didn't even know where her daughters went to school. And her daughters were both staring at her like, Mom, you don't even know the name of our school? Are you serious? Julia is only thinking about herself. And her daughters are probably tired of her social climbing ways, and they're sick of it. The fact that you would spring this on your daughters is extremely selfish on so many levels. You don't do that. Yes, I don't think that she's a strong enough relationship with her daughters. I agree with that. I agree. I've never felt like the relationship was strong. The fact that both of her daughters live in France with their fathers, I never thought that it was a strong relationship, ever. It's giving absent parent. Is giving very much, okay, I have my life, they have their lives in Europe, and we see each other in the summertime for a few weeks, and that's it. It's giving part-time parent. It's no shade. But I never bought the hype that she was super close to her daughters. Again, yep, when Julia's daughters were on the show, they always seemed annoyed by her. They did. It should not have been a surprise to them unless they didn't think that they were for real. I'm going to listen. I know that Julia spoke about adopting last season, but that's a serious decision that should have been talked about every single day. That should have been, hey girls, we got to talk to you about something. We talked about it on the show, but me and Martina are really going through with this. We want your blessing. What do you think about this? This should have been a family conversation. Like, this should not have been, oh yeah, by the way, surprise. Like, I'm sorry. You don't do this to your kids. You don't do that. Julia over there cosplaying as Noah with all those damn animals. She's trying to secure her place and her money. Exactly. I feel bad for the boys, okay? Listen, Julia is as good as a mom as Jackie Christie. Oh, giving very much that. I bet Julia neglected them when she was running around with Martina. Oh, okay, wait, we're on the same. We see each other. Listen, a lot of us share the same brain, I swear, because we see each other. I've always gotten that impression. Julia was too worried about zipping it and zooing it to secure the bag, to get the next sucker. She could care. I have always gotten that impression. Let me shut my mouth. But we are right here. I've always thought that. I have always thought that. Always. Yes. Okay. Right. We're all right here. Julia lies. She could be lying about why her daughters aren't really speaking to them. Yeah, I can see that too. Chasing the bag. Yes, honey, deadbeat mom allegations. I wouldn't be shocked if years from down the road, we find out she's trying to take away their inheritance from Martina. I can see that. Child. Julia only cares about money. I agree. Yeah, let's put that allegedly in there. Allegedly. If I had to guess, I've always gotten that impression that she was running around allegedly, and couldn't be bothered with raising the kids allegedly because she was too busy chasing the bag allegedly. Because like I said earlier, that when that belly is hitting your backbone and that stomach is grumbling, you can't think straight. When those bills are due, when American Express and MasterCard are knocking at your door, when that light bill is due, when Con Ed shuts off the lights, you don't know what to do with yourself. You're gonna do anything. Okay, you worried about chasing that money to get them bills paid. Okay, just saying. All right. Yes, honey. We have money to make. Exactly. Yup, Julia is securing that financial bag with joint parenting with Martina if things ever go south in their marriage. Exactly. I'm serious. Listen, I'm just saying. She got her facelift to extend her shelf life by 7 years. Y'all are in rare form today. Y'all are feeling good today, honey. It is Thursday. It's a gorgeous day outside. We are all feeling good. Okay. In the words of Wendy Williams, I'll say allegedly, but I know what my eyes saw. Different dads, are they rich? I believe so. I know that she had said that she has 3 babies' daddies. That's why she got mad at Larsa when Larsa made that comment about having kids out of wedlock. So now you said you think the Miami reunion will be better than the Atlanta reunion. You said Julia don't do poor, okay? Okay. Y'all have me screaming. Your reviews are always a highlight. Oh, thank you so much. Y'all are in rare form in this chat. Y'all gonna get me in trouble, okay? So now we have Martina going on to say how time is precious and it's a shame that the girls won't talk to them. Again, Martina, you guys are not victims. So now we have Stephanie saying, well, I get it because my parents don't speak to my sisters. Again, I think that we all agree the reason why Stephanie's parents don't speak to the sisters, it's because they don't have as much money as Stephanie and Masood, if I had to guess. So now we get to, why did I lose my spot? Okay, with my notes. Apologies for that. So now we have, where are we? Sorry, y'all. Okay, so Masood interrupts and changes the subject, and now Julia says, well, on that note, Marysol has this great idea to take the girls, to do a girls' trip to Spain. They're going to Seville. And Stephanie says, oh, yes, we can take my airplane, and you're going to come with me on my plane. Julia, once again, the thirst jumped out when Stephanie invited you on that plane. I mean, Julia could not even contain herself. She was just like, oh my gosh, like, look at me. Like, I'm going on the airplane. I'm going on her plane. Like, look at me. I'm just so special. It's really sad to be a social climber. Like, it's really sad. The fact that she is just so enamored with Stephanie and let somebody else come on the show with 2 planes. She'll be up their behinds. It's terrible. Stephanie is obsessed with that jet. She is, and we're going to talk about that later on, because the way she was dangling the carrot at the end, I said, no, ma'am. I said, no, ma'am. She wants the girls to be pressed about that jet. I'm like, okay, girl, these women have flown private before. It's not that serious. Like, we'll talk about that again, because Stephanie has made that jet her personality, and it's annoying. Yes, the thirst. Julia jumped out, literally, of course. Yes, and then you have Martina saying, oh, I want to come. I want to come. So now we have Stephanie saying that she's new to the group, and she's felt welcome by everybody except for Alexia. So now you have, no, sorry. I skipped a part. Sorry about that. Julia says that she needs everybody to get along with each other. She says, we're going to Spain for Alexia. Right now, there's a big clash between you and Alexia. So that's when Stephanie says that she's new to the group and she's felt welcomed by everybody except for Alexia. Then she says, you can't keep making excuses for a bully. Now, mind you, Julia and Stephanie are at the bar talking in private, and Masood and Martina are still at the table. Now, the way Masood was low-key flirting with Martina, I said, Masood, are you okay? He was talking about how Martina has great arms, and Martina says, oh, yeah, that's actually why Julia fell in love with me. I said, is that what you're telling yourself, Martina? Is that the story you're telling yourself, that she fell in love with your arms? I said, oh, if that's what helps you sleep at night, okay. Now, when they showed that picture of when Martina was a young woman, and I'm gonna leave that right there. 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 You know, sometimes I just feel like one of these days I'm going to really just let it all out, how I truly feel about some of these housewives and their spouses. And you know, if y'all rip me a new one in the comments, then so be it. But one of these days I'm going to give you guys my true, like, I give you guys my real thoughts, but they're very filtered, right? Like, I'm very nice with it. I'm very gentle with it. But if I really said what I really want to say, but yeah, I said, bravo, that was shady of y'all to show that old picture of Martina when she was allegedly young, but I'm gonna leave that right there. So anyhow, we cut back to Julia and Stephanie at the bar. Julia says that she talks to Alexia all the time, and knowing her personality, all it's going to take is for them to have a conversation, for them to be good. So Stephanie says that she does want to talk to Alexia. So now you have Julia saying that it'll be a nice trip for all of us. We'll be in a new place, a new continent. And she's optimistic for the trip. So now Stephanie says, I love your confidence. And then they both toast to Spain and having a great time and coming back hunky-dory. Shout out to Kathy Hilton for that. So now it is the day of Marysol's preppy party at her home. And she's going over the place settings with her friend who's also going to be attending. And Marysol says that she invited Adriana because Julia wants Adriana to come to Spain and she loves Julia. So we see Alexia arrive first. I thought that Alexia's outfit was right on the money. She looked good. I'll give Alexia, I'll give you a point for the, for the preppy look. Like you did that. You ate that one little thing. I'll give Alexia her 5s for the outfit. It was cute. Marysol says that she's having a preppy luncheon because her dad was from Connecticut, very waspy. He was a sailor. She went to boarding school in Palm Beach. So she's dying to see what the other girls pull out for their outfits, right? So now they're talking, they're sitting down and talking, and Marysol says that Kiki was over her house yesterday, and she says that Kiki said something weird to me. We see the flashback. Kiki was over at Marysol's house and says that she spoke to Guerdy the other day, and Guerdy said that she feels like she's in a cult. So Marysol was like, well, what do you mean by that? What does she mean by that? A cult? So now you have Marysol saying it denotes that we're sinister. So here goes Alexia. I don't like that. I don't like that. I find that offensive. Have you ever met a more sensitive person than Alexia? Alexia has to be the meanest sensitive person I've ever seen in my entire life. That woman can dish it out, but cannot take it. She will curse at somebody, call them out of their name, yell in their face, scream, holler, cry, and wail. But let somebody say one thing that she does not agree with, now she's offended. You can't be that offended when all you spew out day and night is hate. How dare you have the nerve to be offended? Yes, Alexia is insufferable. She really is. It's annoying. So now you have Alexia saying that, we have to be careful about what we say in this group. And I'm just like, girl, what? Now, let me just stop right here for a minute. Let me get on Kiki. I've noticed that mean people are always sensitive. Oh, absolutely. And especially on these shows, the meanest ones cannot take it when somebody returns the same energy. It's like, how does that work? Yes, she's a weak bully. She is. Alexia is so hypocritical. She is. Now, let me tell you something right now. Kiki, you have been on my last good nerve this entire season. I think that Kiki is going out incredibly sad. And Kiki, it hurts my heart to say this because I liked you a lot. Every time you and Guerdy have a private conversation, the first thing that you do is run back to Marysol and Alexia like a lapdog. Why can't you keep your mouth shut? Why is your allegiance so heavy with them and not with Guerdy? You would think that off the strength of you guys both being Haitian women, that there'd be some solidarity. But no, you had to run your mouth and blab and run and tell what Guerdy said. You can't hold water, but I'm sure that when Alexia and Marysol tell you stuff in confidence, you keep it. But with Guerdy, Guerdy can't tell you anything without you running back and opening your mouth. This is the 6th time this season that you have run and told what she said. You have thrown Guerdy under the bus this entire season. You have, to say that you don't have her back is an understatement. Even if you don't like Guerdy all like that, fine. That's fine. But the fact that you are so hell-bent on making Guerdy look bad every chance you get is pathetic. I'm like, Kiki, do you have some secret hate towards Guerdy? What is it? Did Guerdy cheat you out of some money? Like, please let all of us know. I'm lost. The way you go out of your way to make Guerdy look bad it's really something. And it's a horrible look. She wants to be a cool girl. She really does. Yet another reason why Guerdy should leave the show. trying to get in with the cool girls is so pathetic. Kiki is going out sad. It's ridiculous. Like, Kiki, what are we doing? I hope Guerdy clocks her at the reunion, at least. I hope so too. I'm just like, I hope Guerdy gets after Kiki like Drew clocking Shamia. Kiki wants Guerdy's spot. That's why. Kiki is a poor version of Bose. Oh. I almost wonder if she wants to get her out so she can have the spot. That's what it's giving. I don't understand it. I've always thought that Kiki thinks that she's better than Guerdy, to be honest, with the modeling, and that she deserves a full-time role. Listen, your theory might be correct. Kiki's just another Julia. Kiki's been telling on both sides. She's the bone carrier. It's giving Sheree. Well, okay, yes, she is the bone carrier for sure, but I still believe in my heart that if Marysol and Alexia confided in her, she would keep her mouth shut. If they said, Kiki, if you say something, we will get you out of this group. We will kick you out of this group. We'll never speak to you again. That alone, she would keep quiet. I just feel like there is no loyalty whatsoever. The minute Guerdy opens her mouth and says one thing, Kiki is at Marysol's doorstep to run and tell what Guerdy said. It's ridiculous. It's aggravating. How is Kiki even on the show? Was she ever a housewife? She's always been a friend of. Now, I had heard, I'm sure you guys heard the rumors too, but I know that Kiki was slated to be a full-time housewife, but I know that things went awry when she broke off her engagement with her ex, her ex who she shares her daughter with. I believe that was a factor in why she was dropped to a friend of, because I think there was some mess. She didn't want to talk about the whole breakup. So I don't know. I think it's something to do with that. Her failed engagement is the reason why she's a friend of, not a full-time housewife. Allegedly. Now we see Guerdy arrive with a wedding gift, mind you. So Marysol opens up the door. Guerdy says, I come in peace. And Guerdy gave Marysol a really nice gift. It's like a cocktail machine. Expensive, very nice gift. And we know that Marysol loves her cocktails, right? Now, Marysol throwing shade, saying that Guerdy is a fashion catastrophe. Marysol, some of your outfits have been hit or miss, and I wouldn't say too much when you dress just like Sutton Strack. I wouldn't do too much. You get very much old lady. You've been dressing old since you got on this show in season 1. You were in your early 40s, late 40s when you joined the show, dressing like you were 85 years old. Oh, honey, Marysol has always given us a poodle sweater with a kitten heel. And I know all the girls who wear kitten heels get mad at me, but listen, Marysol always gave old lady. Always. Always. So not too much, Marysol. What about Marysol's black funeral outfit in her confessional? Exactly. Guerdy even brought them her gift bags from the party they walked out of. I say Guerdy's too nice. Guerdy is too nice. Ciao. Listen, Brooke, genuinely, how would Marysol's mom feel about this behavior towards Guerdy? For some reason, I see her and Marysol's mom getting along. Yeah, I feel like hopefully Mama Elsa would clock Marysol's behavior, but you never know, though. You never know. She might have rode out for her daughter's bad behavior. Oh, also Anna from season 2 said that Marysol and Alexia are DHgate queens, all fake designer. Are you serious? Because I know Alexia, I can't see Alexia in fake. Because I know I can't see Alexia in fake. And I mean, the girls have said that they've seen Alexia all up and down Bal Harbor. Shout out to the Bal Harbor Mall, honey. That mall is fabulous. That Neiman's and Saks in there, they have everything in there. Oh, that's a gorgeous mall too. Marysol, I can see it. But Alexia, I don't see Alexia in fake. But you know what though? Hey, she might be right. Who knows? But all I have to say is Marysol, I've never thought that Marysol always old lady. I mean, Marysol has the sex appeal of a lamp and has always given us 1950s realness. So I wouldn't say too much about Guerdy's style. Just saying. If Guerdy tweaks her style a bit and really wants to be in her fashion bag, she'll look good. Let me just be quiet. Let me just be quiet. Let me just rein it in before I really say something else. But okay. So now Marysol says, I don't care about what she's wearing, but I do care about this gift that Guerdy brought me. Then you have Marysol saying, well, I actually heard that Lisa bought her this gift and Guerdy regifted it to me. Marysol, let me tell you something right now. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you spread a lie to make Guerdy look bad? First and foremost, you need to be happy that Guerdy even gave you anything, seeing that she got assaulted at your wedding reception and you sat there with your husband and did nothing. Your husband was over there laughing at the bar. You should be thankful that Guerdy even showed up to this stupid party and got you a gift. Second of all, Alexia waltzed into your house empty-handed. A lot of the other girls came empty-handed. Guerdy came in with a gift and gift bags. She didn't have to do that. Also, you better give Guerdy the biggest apology of your life, because the way Guerdy cleared you, Guerdy posted the receipts. Guerdy bought that gift. Guerdy spent $349 on that gift. Brand spanking new. Never been used. It wasn't a re-gift. She bought that. Her credit card on file. Don't you ever sit there and try to downplay what she got you. All you need to say is thank you. I was so mad. I said, don't lie. Listen, it's one thing. If you don't like somebody, that's fine. But don't sit up there and lie on somebody. It's almost just, it's to the point where it's like you are actively trying to bully this woman for no reason. You just want to find fault. But Guerdy cleared you. Cleared you. And said, no, babe, what we won't do is that. Post that receipt right on her Instagram page. Don't you ever try to act like she regifted something. That's something you would do, that because you give me tacky. You give me good and you give me very much cheap. Where you ball out for yourself, but for other people you're cheap. You're tight-fisted. You might regift a gift because that's how tacky you are, but Guerdy's not tacky. Guerdy has class. How dare I was so annoyed. I said, how dare you? Yes, and Julia probably told Marysol that lie anyhow. You said you would have thrown it at her big ass head. I'm screaming. Yeah, she was calling Guerdy cheap. She was. Hey, Miss Tishalish, thank you for the super chat. They're doing all this to support Alexia in her male-centered ways, but where's the support for Guerdy? Exactly. It's ridiculous. Sitting up there coddling a grown woman who's going back to a man who rejected her time and time again, but they can't even offer up some words of comfort for a woman who went through cancer and almost lost her life. Like, what are we it's insanity here. It's insanity. Marysol projects a lot. Marysol lives in a pool house. Ooh. And what has Marysol ever given to Guerdy? Nothing. They didn't even bring Guerdy a gift to her celebration of life party. I thought they would all bring her a gift. Nobody showed up with a bottle of champagne, a candle. I have yet to see a Joe Malone candle, a Diptyque candle. Nobody's giving her a gift card, a gift basket, not even a free smoothie. They haven't given Guerdy anything. They won't even give her a 2-piece from Popeyes. But yet you want to sit up here and lie on her, saying that she didn't give you, she regifted her gift. You've given her nothing. And she went out and spent over $300 on a nice gift for you, and you want to lie on her. Marysol, I'm telling you right now, I hope that Guerdy wears you all the way out at this reunion, because you tried it. They haven't gotten her flowers. It's just like, this is crazy. It's so aggravating. But Guerdy has a job that we know about. How is she cheap? Exactly. I was just like, wow. They're very vile. They're extremely vile. They really are. I would have read Marysol like Adriana did on the boat. Same here. Not even a box of chocolate, not even a Godiva chocolate. They won't even get her a little Hershey's bar for $2 at CVS or Walgreens. They haven't gotten that woman a thing. Not even a gift card, not even an Uber Eats, not an Instacart order, nothing. Not a bottle of water, nothing. But you want to sit up there and throw shade at her nice gift to you, saying that it was a re-gift when it wasn't. Just a mess. Have you noticed how Kiki always compliments random white women and they never return the compliment? I have noticed that. I've noticed that a lot. Kiki will be, oh my gosh, you look so pretty, you look so gorgeous, and she's all dolled up, and Kiki is so beautiful, and they won't even say it back to her. I've noticed that. That's a whole different topic, but yes, I've noticed that. Honey, she can't even get 2 chicken nuggets from a 4-piece meal. Exactly. You said not even thoughts and prayers. Yeah, they really did not give an F this season about Guerdy's recovery. They didn't. Oh, I'm glad you're in the live. Hi. Made it to the live. Yes. Kiki is thirsty for that white acceptance. Kiki wants to be the only one in the room. That's what it's giving. That's low-key what it's giving. So now we see Guerdy sit down and things are a bit awkward. It's an awkward silence. So Marysol says, I had lunch with Julia the other day and we're planning a trip for Alexia to distract her from all that's going on. We're going to go to her favorite place, Spain. I just want to know if you feel comfortable coming because Kiki told me the other day that you said that we were in a cult. So Guerdy's explaining herself and she says, well, I was really hurt. I feel like I'm trying to talk to everybody and nobody's listening to me. Everybody has Julia's back. And yes, I did say that it was a cult. Here goes Alexia. Well, I found that offensive. We need to be careful about what we say because things like that stay out there. We're not a cult. So here's what really got me. When Alexia asked her, do you even want to be in this friend group? If you go back to any franchise, any city where there has been a clear alliance against one person, go back to anytime there's been, I want to say OC, Potomac, Beverly Hills, anytime a group has been formed, a Fox Force 5 vibe, they always gaslight the victim and they say, do you even want to be in this group? That is their way of trying to ice you out and get you kicked off of this show. When it came to Wendy getting assaulted and they blamed her for what Mia did to her in Miami, you had Giselle and them talk about, oh, does she even want to be in this group? Like anytime they're trying to ice you out, they always play from the same playbook. When Alexia said that, my skin, like the hairs on my arms, like went up. I said, oh my gosh, they are trying to get this woman off of this show. I said, Guerdy, for the love of God, please let this be your last season. These women are trying to kick you off of this show. If I were Guerdy, I would have low-key quit after this episode. I would not have even gone on this cast trip. They were trying to kick Guerdy off before the cast trip. They don't want her there. Listen, y'all, anytime, go back to any franchise where things were going awry in the group and it's like 5 against 1. They have always started the conversation off with, do you even want to be here? Do you even want to be a part of this group? We feel like you don't even want to be here. They all play from the same playbook. And that was classic manipulation when Alexia said that. I was too done. I said, Alexia, this is so evil of you for you to sit up here and play like Guerdy is the one in the wrong. And I'm telling y'all right now, Andy, if you don't grill Alexia and Marysol, we're going to have a problem, because do not let them skate by at this reunion. I need you to hold their feet to the fire. Please do not ask them just one question. Please really drill them about why did they show out like this? They got Dr. Nicole out and next is Guerdy. Exactly. Only time it was warranted was with Kim Zolciak season 5 of Atlanta. Yes. Potomac, OC, and Beverly Hills always on some stuff like this. Heavy on Potomac. Yes. Exactly what they did to Denise Richards on Beverly Hills. Yes, very much so. Let me tell y'all, I felt so bad. Child, I'm praying that Andy grills them at this reunion. I know. Listen, I'm willing to say that it's wishful thinking. I'm willing to say that I'm truly wishing on a star here, but I'm holding out on a crumb of hope that he does what he's supposed to do. I really hope so. Andy has a tendency to let things skate by and not really get to the root of a problem. He will spend a few seconds on a topic and then will change it. Yes. I stopped watching Potomac for this reason. Yeah. I bet Kiki is the next target. Andy loves the villains. So weird because Guerdy has literally done nothing. I agree. Yeah, thank you. If I were Guerdy, I wouldn't want to be around this negative energy either. I'd be too afraid that it would come back again. I mean, all this stress is not good for a person. Stress is deadly. Like, stress leads to so many different things. I mean, Guerdy, if Guerdy signs back on to be back next season, then I'm going to have to give her the sight and strack treatment. Because when you're treated this poorly by the group and you sign back up, then I know that we can't save you. That you don't want to be saved. And we shouldn't waste our breath or our time. You know he's not going to grill them like he should. He truly cares if he truly cared about the whole cast. There are times I can tell Andy is over it. I agree. But I really feel bad. I felt my heart really wept for Guerdy in this moment. And then when Guerdy started crying and she said, guys, you have to understand where I'm coming from. I'm trying to find myself. I'm trying to vibe. My motto right now is keep it simple, stupid. I just don't have time for this. Marysol, I could have jumped through that screen and torn you up. Marysol was so dismissive when she said, okay, Guerdy, just don't involve us in all this stuff that you have going on. I said, all this stuff that she has going on, the woman got assaulted. What the F are you talking? Y'all, I'm trying not to scream. I was livid. Marysol being so dismissive and so cruel in this moment took it all out of me. I think I was angrier about this scene than I was when Julia threw the drink on her. This was so evil. Marysol was better off saying, honestly, Guerdy, it's really F you and we don't care. I would have more respect for Marysol if she said, Guerdy, it's really F all this. We really don't care about you. See yourself out. For you to say, well, just don't involve us in all this stuff that you have going on. We don't want to be a part of this. We don't want to be a part of what you have going on. Y'all, this was crazy work. I said, and Guerdy does not have a friend on this show. This woman went through cancer. Exactly. They don't care. No, they don't care to understand. I had to turn the TV off. My blood was boiling. Listen, my blood, I was livid. Completely gaslit Guerdy. Y'all, I was so pissed. And then for Marysol to keep saying, we don't want to be a part of that, or of what you have going on. So then you have Marysol in her confessional saying, I am not living in Guerdy land. I don't know what she's talking about. I said, what? She's telling you how she feels being a woman who just beat breast cancer, fighting for her life. She was assaulted at your wedding reception, and you're talking about, I'm not living in Guerdy land. I don't care what she's talking about. Marysol, you really better be prepared for BravoCon, because, sweetheart, when they open up those mics for us to ask you guys questions, I won't be surprised if Miami doesn't get a panel because of how toxic this season was, and they know that we're going to light y'all up. So I won't be surprised. The same way that SLC didn't get a panel last time, I won't be surprised if you guys don't get a panel. I will not be, because the questions that are going to be coming for you, Alexia, and Julia, everybody's getting lit up. I will not be surprised if Andy says, you know what, let's not give you guys a panel. Oh, like, I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised. Marysol, if they do give you a panel though, baby, the way I'm lighting you up when they open up those mics, the way, girl, listen, the way everybody's gonna run up to those mics and light you up with those questions. Because you to say that you showed your entire ass in this episode. I mean, this was just pure evil. There is no regard for a woman who beat cancer and was assaulted at your event. And you're going to tell her, I don't live in your world, girl. I don't care what you're talking about. Absolutely not. You better hope that there's no panel for Miami, because you and Alexia and Julia are all going to be heavily embarrassed on that stage. So now we see Adriana arrive. Adriana is wearing her Harvard shirt. Marysol says that Adriana nailed her prep look, her preppy look, her prep school look. And so you have, Larsa arrives. Stephanie also arrives as well. And you have Alexia joking, saying that this is the least amount of boobs that she's ever seen from Larsa. And Larsa's like, I don't dress like this. I dress slutty. Marysol and Stephanie dress like this. They dress like they're 90. And I agree with Larsa. Baby, that style is like, I'm like, girl. Stephanie, I don't know why Stephanie is cosplaying as Jackie O. I don't understand. I don't understand this old lady style that Stephanie's giving us. But if she likes it, whatever. You have Adriana pull Marysol to the side, and she says, Marysol, thank you for inviting me. I apologize about what I said on the boat. I was drunk. So Marysol says, liquor brings out the truth, though. The mean stuff comes out. Now, I love how Adriana clocked her. She said, well, girl, how do you think I feel when you tell me to go F myself? And so why do you hate me so much? So now you have Marysol trying to play the victim. And she says, well, no, I feel like you always give it to me all the time. Can you lay off of me? Marysol, the same way you've given it to everybody else in this group, you have ran folks off the show. You have bullied people. You cannot feel a way about Adriana returning the same energy to you. And the same way Adriana told you, you've done nasty, you've said horrible things about me. Where's my apology? Exactly. You've yet to apologize to Adriana about what you've said to her. So now you have Adriana and Marysol putting their beef aside. And Adriana says that they both want to have a good time in Spain. Marysol says we have bigger problems in the group. We have Lisa and Larsa, Stephanie and Alexia, Julia and Guerdy going at it. We don't also need to be going at it too. So they hug it out. Adriana says, well, I'm happy to hear that because I'm tired of all the bickering as well. We might as well get along. So now now we see Julia come in. Julia, why are you always coming to somebody's house with a carton of eggs? Bring somebody a bottle of champagne. Like, Julia is another one who's cheap. So Marysol, it's okay for you to get some eggs from her farm, but you're going to sit up there and try to clown Guerdy about her expensive gift? Julia is such a cheapskate. Julia is such a cheapskate. But yeah, you want to call Guerdy cheap. Okay. So now we have Lisa come in. We have Alexia saying that her outfit looks costumish. It looks very pornish. Giving a Brazzers tea. And then you have Larsa saying that it's very slutty. It looks like she's going to a swingers party or whatever. So now it's time for them to go outside and have some lunch. Marysol says that she's happy that they're all here. She says that, everybody knows me. I'm my mother's daughter. My mother was very Cuban. My dad was American. I went to Boston College, went to boarding school in Palm Beach. I don't really care about Marysol's story, so we can skip past that. Like, I just don't care. Marysol is not interesting to me in the least bit. All right. So we have Adriana interjecting to give a clinical aspect to all of this. And she says, just so you know, when you're conceived, your chromosomes are crossed. If you're a girl, you get your chromosomes from your dad. So the similarities between you and your dad are similar than you think. She says that to Marysol. So now you have Larsa asking if Adriana is really going to Harvard. And Adriana says, yes, I'm doing my master's in psychology at Harvard. It says this is as preppy gets. So now we see Marysol and Larsa both throwing shade. Marysol says, well, I have a Harvard sweatshirt too. I bought it at the Boston airport. Adriana goes on to say that she's been in the program for a few years. It's a hybrid program. She graduates next spring. So now you have Larsa saying, oh, you signed up for that online. Anybody can do that. All you have to do is pay the money. Larsa, can you ever just say congratulations? I've noticed that Larsa is always trying to poke holes in somebody's good news, and it's a bad habit. Larsa has always given me, if it's not happening to her, then she can't celebrate you. That's a horrible way to be. You can't be happy for other people. It's always some shade, but let somebody shade you, and it's World War III. We know that Larsa is very thin-skinned. She can dish it out, but she can't take it, because let somebody diminish her accomplishments, then she's mad. Now she wants to go for the jugular and go for blood. It's just crazy. Yes, exactly. Then why doesn't Larsa do it? Exactly. Adriana is very layered. They're haters. Yes, Adriana was an art collector. She plays the piano. She can speak several languages. I remember Adriana said that she spoke, 5 languages? She speaks French, Italian, English. I believe she speaks, does she speak Japanese? She speaks a lot of languages, but she's a very bright woman, very intelligent. And she's a lot going for herself. They always want to, it's annoying. Yes, 5 languages fluently. I remember that. I just don't understand. Adriana is highly intelligent. She is. She's very accomplished. So I don't know. I just don't like the fact that Larsa always has to throw some shade at somebody and downplay their stuff. But if you downplay her stuff, it's the end of the world. And she wants to drag you for Phil. Julia says that she wore Martina's clothes because Martina is preppy. I thought it was funny when Kiki was like, oh, are those the same sneakers that she wore to Guerdy's event? Because we know that Julia loves to wear sneakers all the time. We do see Guerdy and Julia go off to the side to talk, to sit one-on-one and just have a conversation. So Guerdy says that I feel like we're so far apart. The not reconciling part is hard for me. I thought we had an understanding to move forward. When I went to Alexia's Grecian party, I felt betrayed. So you have Julia playing victim, and she says, no, I'm sorry. That wasn't my intention. I only asked him that question because he's a life coach. I was also hurt. Julia, I'm going to explain it to you like you're 5. You don't get to be hurt after you've assaulted somebody. The only person who is allowed to be hurt is Guerdy, not you. Again, let me repeat myself. The only person in this situation who is allowed to be hurt is Guerdy. You don't get to harm somebody and play victim. That's not how this works. And Julia, you are good and grown. You are in your 50s, late 50s, because I'm not believing that you're 53. You are, sweetheart, you are too old not to know that. You have no right to be feeling hurt. You started all of this. You caused all this pain and suffering. This is all your fault. Let's be clear about that. You don't get to be hurt. Your feelings don't matter. Your feelings don't count. Your feelings, stop. We're not playing this game. Guerdy had every right to go in about you being in Paris for that non-existent facelift because you threw a drink in her face. If you violate somebody, if you physically harm somebody, they can say whatever they want about you. Because I'm telling you right now, if you ever decide that you want to be crazy enough to put your hands on me, I'm going to the gutter. I'm saying there is no limit to how low I'm going. I'm saying the worst possible thing, and I don't give a damn how anybody feels about that. I'm honest. I don't want to hear anything. Listen, I'm saying the craziest stuff if you were to ever do that to me. You don't get to police somebody's actions after you physically assaulted them. Period. Nobody gives a damn about you felt hurt. Hurt about what? By who? You hurt yourself. I was so annoyed. How dare they try to control how Guerdy reacts to her assault? She gives too much grace. I agree. Yes, it'll be up and stuck. Julia was dead ass wrong, but I can't give it too much energy because Guerdy's kissing her in the mouth later on. You're right. You know what? You're right. Why am I getting so worked up? You're right. Like, listen, you are so right. Because, these women like to play in our faces and make a fool out of us. They'll have us screaming in front of the camera for, 30 minutes to an hour straight. And then they sit up there and play these stupid games. So you're right. So you know what? When you say it like that, I can't even get that angry. You know what? You're right. That's a good. Why am I getting this worked up? You do have Guerdy saying that. Guerdy says, I don't understand how to express this hurt. I expressed it maybe in the wrong way. Guerdy, you did nothing wrong. Stop that right now. You did nothing wrong. When Guerdy apologized, I was so irritated. I said, okay, Guerdy. So she said, I felt cornered, like nobody believes me, like you guys think that I'm a piece of, you know what. She starts crying. Julia is consoling her. So Guerdy's like, you're my friend. So Julia says, I'm sorry if I hurt you. The pain was mutual. The feeling of pain and disappointment. Let's just move, y'all. I was so aggravated. I said the fact that Julia is going to still sit here and play victim is truly asinine. So now Julia says, I don't want to look back. Guerdy says, I don't either. They hug it out. Now you have Julia saying that I give people chances. How effing dare you to say that you give people chances? I refuse to allow this idiot to steal my joy on this beautiful sunny day. Like I'm not even going to sit up here and play with Julia. Julia, I'm not even going to do it with you today. I'm not. The way people can twist things is twisted. It's crazy. She can never give it to Guerdy. Never. She will never. She just has a problem. Julia, get the F out of my face. Exactly. That friend word gets used too loosely, and that's not if. Exactly. When you actually did hurt her by assaulting her with a drink. Exactly. That's the power of gaslighting, making Guerdy think that she was in the wrong. It's workplace mobbing, high key. Making it seem like Guerdy was so wrong. Yeah, you assault someone and give them a chance. I said, Julia has me completely effed up. You know what's weird? Like on live, like YouTube gets real weird about cursing on a live. But if this were a pre-recorded recap, I'd be letting the F words just fly. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'd be like, guys, if you have your kids in the room, get your kids out because there will be some profanity going on in this recap. All right. But yeah, like the way I just want to like curse Julia out right now for like 10 minutes straight. Yes. Brooke, did you notice when they were walking back to the table, Guerdy said, thank you, I love you. Julia's face said it all. I was just going to touch on that. When they hold hands to walk back to the table, when Guerdy said that, Julia didn't say anything to her. Julia gave her the weirdest smirk. I said, See, Guerdy, this is where you lose me. Why are you saying that you love her? Why are you thanking her in the first? Why, first of all, why are you thanking her? She has yet to give you a real apology. She's gaslighting you like you did something in the wrong when you're the victim here, and you're saying thank you, I love you. And the fact that Julia didn't say a word back, I said, where's Monique Samuels when you need her? Monique's sitting up here hitting the wrong folks. You need to put Monique on Miami and let her knock these fools out. Like Monique, girl, you messing with the wrong people. I was so, yes, I clocked Julia's face. Yeah, I clocked that. And she looked at Guerdy like this. She was just like, I said, girl, what does that mean? I was so mad. Monique, you need to get on this show. Maybe I'll like you. Maybe I'll finally like you. Get on this show. Yes, honey, the original Rottweiler. Exactly. Ciao. Guerdy is still holding on to Julia visiting her when she got diagnosed and was going through treatment. She's got to let that ish go. Exactly. You said leave Gunique right where she's at. You said put Kenya on Miami. Yes, there's something very sinister about her. I agree. Sounds like a Wendy situation from Potomac. Yes. Oh, it's very similar. Very similar. So now everybody's back at the table. You have Guerdy saying that the hurt is still there, but she has to acknowledge that Julia was a very good friend to her, but she's not anymore. Like one of y'all just said, let it go. Let the memories go. So she says that she's ready to, tiki with these girls in Spain. She just wants to have a good time. So now Julia's like, okay, girls, we're all going to Spain. She has some fabulous friends in Marbella. Did I say Marbella? I feel like I butchered the name. I said it all wrong. Forgive me. But she says it's a 3-hour drive from Seville, right? So they're all like, how are we going to get there? So Guerdy points to Stephanie and says, the jet. So Stephanie's like, she's motioning, like, I have my private plane. So they're all like, thank you so much, Stephanie. So now Kiki's asking Stephanie if she's flying with them from Miami to Spain. So Stephanie says, no, I'm flying my plane from Miami to Seville. I would love to invite everybody, but unfortunately, because it's such a long flight, I can't take everybody. She says that I can only invite 3 girls, but aside from that, everybody's going to be on my private plane going from Seville to Marbella. But then she jokes and says, if stuff hits the fan, book your own van to go back. So now they all toast to a fun time in Spain. And now you have Stephanie. Stephanie goes on to ask if her and Alexia can talk for a second. So they go inside of Marysol's house to talk, just one-on-one. And Stephanie says, we're going to Spain. I want us to be cordial. I want to talk about the whole Chihuahua versus Rottweiler thing. And Alexia says, well, you did say that I bark. So Stephanie says, well, that's what she sounds like when she speaks. So now Alexia says, well, you were calling me a dog. You did not have to keep calling me a Rottweiler. I said, once again, Alexia has to be the most thin-skinned person I have ever seen. For her to be so nasty to other people, the fact that her feelings break like a twig when somebody makes a joke about her is mind-boggling. So Stephanie says, I feel like you like to belittle people. You came in saying that you're like the Rottweiler and I'm the Chihuahua, and it feels disrespectful. So Alexia says, well, I don't come in acting like I'm the best. And Stephanie says, no, you're trying to be the queen. So now, mind you, as they're going at it, Lisa, Kiki, and Julia all go over to the window to watch them. And Alexia and Stephanie see them. It's like they're right in the window. So now you have Stephanie yelling at them. She's like, you guys go away. Let us talk talk privately. Stop. So you now have Alexia apologizes. And now Stephanie says, well, I do want to extend an olive branch, right? She says, I have 1 seat left on my plane. I invited Marysol. Marysol declined because she said that she wants to fly with Alexia. That's her best friend. Now, I have to say, as much as I don't see it for Alexia, I was confused, just like Alexia was, when Stephanie invited her to be on her private plane going to Seville. That was weird to me. And Stephanie, here's what I have to just clock you. It's giving that you want everybody to beg and grovel to be on your plane. Because when Alexia turned it down, she said, no, Marysol's my best friend. I'm not going to fly without her. Like we're like this. When you made that comment saying, who gives up their seat for their friend? Well, have fun in TSA. Are you all right? Let's not act like first class isn't that girl on a commercial plane. It might not be a private plane, but first class Delta One is that girl. Like, like I don't understand why you're acting like it's like she's slumming it because she doesn't want to be on your private plane. You really think that you are just doing it with the private plane? And I mean, you are, girl, but don't act like they haven't also flown private before. They've all flown private at certain points in their lives. They're going to be okay if they don't fly in your private plane. Like, yeah, like it's just, if it was me, I would walk before I get on that plane. I agree. And yeah, why would Alexia leave Marysol when Marysol said no for Alexia? Exactly. Like it's like Stephanie's logic makes no sense. And then for you to say, oh, well, have fun with TSA, sweetheart, Delta One is that girl. You have your own private terminal. Like, you're not slumming it on Delta One. I can assure you that. Like, Delta One is really that girl. Like, what are we, like, I just said, like, Stephanie, like, why are you, like, I was so aggravated with that. And then it's the constant, like, oh, like, you think that everybody's going to drop to your feet because you have a plane. They know other people with planes. You're not the only one. Yes. And she, and like, you can tell that, like, Stephanie is definitely trying to buy friendship. And it's weird. It's off-putting. And Stephanie, it gave desperado energy to invite Alexia after you guys just got into it. If me and a person have been at odds since the time I joined the group, I'm not going to turn around and now extend the invite for you to fly on my plane for 8+ hours to Spain. I'm not doing that. It's weird. It just gives that you are dying for the girls to grovel at your feet about being on your plane, and you're upset that you're not getting that reaction. You're dangling a carrot that they really don't want. Yes. Dr. Nicole flew Guerdy to the reunion last year on her private jet. Exactly. Yes, they have a Delta One. They have the driver that picks you up from your home. You have the private Delta One terminal, the private Delta One lounge with, I mean, the food is phenomenal. Then you have the car drive you right to the plane. The Delta, like, I just, it's like for her to act like, oh, well, have fun flying commercial. Like, I will. I'll have a great time. I'll have a great time. I'm not missing out. It's okay. So now they leave, they go outside. Lisa's asking what happened between them. You have Marysol, no, you have Stephanie saying, oh, well, I realized that I can't take everybody on my private plane going there. So Stephanie, I thought it was really tacky when you went down the list of who you invited on the plane. My thing is, I was always taught that if everybody's not invited, then you don't talk about it in mixed company. You don't talk about it with the folks that you have not invited. That's in very poor taste. And Stephanie, you're very tacky. You are a very tacky woman. I just don't see it for you. Your personality is flat. There's not much there. There's not much to work with. You're very tacky, you're rude, you just don't seem to be a pleasant person. Your tone, the way you speak to people is off-putting. You're like, you're a try-hard. You're a try-hard. You think that you're supposed to act a certain way because you have money, and that's not the case. It's aggravating. Yes, another Jen Aiden. She is so distasteful and weirdo energy. Yes. All this talking has my throat all dry. Excuse me, y'all. I'm like, did my voice give out? Gee, like, give me like 10 more minutes, please. So anyhow, she's going down the list of who she is taking on the plane. She says, I chose Larsa because we're super close. We're like besties. I invited Julia, and now I have one additional seat because Marysol and Alexia turned it down. Now, Stephanie, Kiki, I'm gonna give you your fives for this because you and I are on the same page. When Stephanie said, me and Kiki have hung out a lot. I like Kiki, but I haven't gotten a chance to bond with Adriana. You know, do I go with Kiki or do I want to get to know Adriana? Kiki, you and we're right here. I would have done the same thing. I don't play these games. Be very clear. Be very clear about it. Be very clear, y'all. Y'all know how I am, baby. I will never beg for a thing. I don't want anything that is freely given, honey. Listen. Be very clear about it. I don't care if you want to call it arrogance, whatever you want. One thing, I'm not begging for a thing. Nothing. Nothing. And I'm very much like, it's really not that deep. I can buy it myself. Like it's really not that deep. Like I will never let anybody dangle a carrot. If you want to see me never speak to you again, sit up there and try to dangle a carrot in front of my face. I don't play that. Baby, there are no beggars in the kingdom, honey. Absolutely not. I'm not begging for a damn thing. And when Kiki said, I'm gonna make it easy for you, you can have Adriana go on your plane. I'll fly with everybody else in first class. It's cool. Don't you ever sit there in front of the group and talk about, well, who should I pick? Like I'm gonna dance for my supper. Absolutely not. Absolutely, sweetheart. What? No, sweetheart. I have an American Express in my wallet. I'm good. I don't need the day you make me feel like I need to beg for something, I'm good. I will never, ever. I'll be damned. I will be damned. Oh, what? Stephanie pissed me off so bad with this. I said, girl, how dare you? That was so tacky to have them all go down in the line and say, well, who should I pick? You, or you? Girl, what? This is not middle school. Absolutely not. I'll be damned. What? I would have read you. I said, girl, it is okay. I can buy my Delta One ticket. It is okay. If it's really, you know what? If I'm really that pressed to fly private, I'll book my own private jet. But you will never make me feel like you have something over me. Absolutely not. Absolutely. Yeah, that eeny, meeny, miny, most. Absolutely. Listen, I'll be out in a heartbeat. Honey, we are right here. Steph, yes, she thought she was Julia. Very much so. Very much so. What? Stephanie, if you have to choose, never pick me. Exactly. Yup. That's why her sisters don't talk to her. Yup. She always wants people to bow to her. Exactly. Stephanie is tacky. Oh, absolutely. Listen, I'm not begging for. I almost be clear. Nothing. I'll be good and damned if I ever. And Stephanie, you had me all the way messed up when you sat up there and did that. And Kiki told you right. Kiki said, no, girl, it's not that deep. Go on ahead and have Adriana on your plane. I'm good. I said, exactly. You don't ever let anybody sit up there and dangle some carrot like you're a beggar. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And Stephanie thought that was funny too. And the saddest part was you had Lisa drooling at the thought of being on the private jet because Lisa's so desperate. Lisa's another desperado too. We don't talk about it enough, but Lisa's also desperado. We'll talk about that another day. But the way Lisa was drooling at the thought of being picked to be on the private jet, and Stephanie didn't even consider her. And then you had, and Guerdy, I'm sorry, but I have to just give you a quick little tap on the wrist because the way you were hyping Stephanie up, like, oh yeah, like thank you, Stephanie. You know, the jet. I said, girl, you're doing all that, and she didn't even consider you to be on the jet. You're doing all that, Guerdy. It was giving. I don't want to say what it was giving, but it was giving something I didn't like. It was real desperado. Because you were really thirsty with the hyping up. It was, oh my gosh, the jet, like, thank you, Stephanie. Oh my gosh, the jet, the private plane. Oh, she has a jet. And she didn't even think about you. I said, oh, the shade of it all, the disrespect of it all. Like, I was gagged. Girl, I was embarrassed for you. A mess. Yeah, Lisa misses that Star Island life. Lisa would still be with Lenny if Lenny didn't leave her. I agree. Yeah, Guerdy wasn't even a thought. She was not even a thought. Child. Lisa would take that plane in a heartbeat. Yes, she was. Lisa was foaming at the mouth. She was damn near drooling. She was just like me. I'm right here. Like, I'm right here. Like, pick me. I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is sick. And Stephanie wanted that. Stephanie would have gotten no satisfaction out of me because I would have told her, baby, don't even worry about it. I actually booked my own jet. I'll see you soon. I'll see you there. Please, girl. I wish somebody would. I would. Everybody and anybody who's ever even tried to play with me like that has learned the hard way. It's not even. I will embarrass you every single time. The day you even pump fake, like you're gonna dangle something in front of my face, I will embarrass you every single time. Don't ever in your life think that I'm a beg for anything, because I'm gonna embarrass you, and I'm gonna show you what's what. Okay, listen, I'm not doing that. Anybody who's ever even pulled a stunt like that, and you know who you are. You probably watching right now in secret. You know who y'all know who you are. Anybody in my life who's ever even pumped fake, like they want to dangle something in front of me, they were severely embarrassed. Severely. Okay. You said that might be the one time that Lisa was on time. So now you have Adriana saying that her supposed best friend is still on the plane. She says, that's what I admire about Marysol, because she has Alexia's back day and night through thick and thin. I wish that I had that bond with Julia. I said, now one thing about it though, Marysol and Alexia, they are locked in, and I have to respect that. And Julia, if you were a decent friend, you would have also turned down that private jet without your best friend Adriana. But see, you're so status hungry. You're such a thirsty social climber and a wannabe and a loser, honey. You said, "F Adriana, I'm getting on that damn plane." Girl, you are just, ooh, Julia, you are sorry. Like, you are just very sorry, and I'm glad that Adriana called you out. So now you have. Julia's upset, and Julia says, Adriana, don't make me out to be a bad friend. So now we see Alexia crying. Marysol's hugging her. I said, Alexia, why are you crying? Alexia is determined to make every single moment this season about her. Baby, for the last time, we don't care about you and Todd. We are not interested. Stop trying to force us to care. Stop forcing us to care. We don't care. But yeah, we close out the episode with Marysol saying that this whole trip is about you, and I don't want to leave you. Alexia says that it's been really hard, but Marysol's been by my side for so many years, and then they toast, and that's the end of the episode. But yeah, let me tell you something. Miami is determined to get me worked up every episode, because like, what's going on? The continued gaslighting of Guerdy. Now we have Stephanie acting a fool. Marysol and Alexia are trying it. It's a lot. It's a lot. But yeah, guys, let me tell you something. What is Alexia going through that needs a trip? She's not going through a damn thing. She just wants attention. She just wants it. That's all that is. They all show their asses this season. Woo, child. Exactly. Oh, I didn't know that. On Watch What Happens Live, Adriana said that Julia didn't finish high school. Ooh, child. Brooke, y'all know who you are. I'm screaming. Yeah, oh, I've encountered a few Stephanies in my life. I've encountered a few. Even now, some folks tried. I have to let folks know every time. I gotta let folks know every now and again. This ain't that. This is not that. this ain't that, honey. I listen. I'm good. Listen. You gotta let folks know. Don't ever let any. I don't care if you have $3 in your pocket. Don't ever get caught out here begging. Don't beg for love, opportunities, jobs, people to like you. You will be effed up every single time. Every single time. And Stephanie tried to play that with the plane. Oh, I said, oh no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You said you can see it, Julia ain't too bright. They're probably secretly watching. You just got in. Did you talk about how they clearly want Kiki to take Guerdy's spot? Oh yeah, we talked about that. We talked about that. I guess what, an hour into it. You'll catch it on the replay because we're at the end now. Yes, people think that money gives them power over everybody. Yeah, I'd rather stay home than beg for anything. Yep, this ain't Phaedra. Guerdy better watch out. Yeah, Guerdy, all I have to say is if you are considering coming back on for season 8, please think long and hard about it. And shout out to my friend Gibson Johns. I was on his podcast and YouTube channel a few days ago, actually, last week. And we talked about all the things, but I saw that he interviewed Guerdy a few days ago, and Guerdy broke down in tears, crying about how she was really upset and hurt to hear what Isaac Mizrahi said about her on Watch What Happens Live, saying that he was happy that she got the drink thrown on her. I'm like, I just feel so sorry for Guerdy. And I'm really praying for Guerdy's mental health. I'm praying for her sanity because this cannot be easy to go through. She had to live through it, and that's just to watch it back. It's a lot. And then have to rehash it at the reunion again. It's a lot. So I'm just praying for her. I really hope that she's okay. And I really hope that Guerdy, please, Guerdy, think long and hard about returning to come back on the show. It's not worth it. And listen, you will still do well without the show. Yes, he said that lady. He didn't even say her name. You said, and Julia had that evil smirk on her face. She did. I was more offended by him calling her that lady. Same here. Kiki better watch too. Quiet as his kid. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Guerdy said that she was in therapy over the mistreatment on Gibson's show. Wow. Listen, people think this stuff is a game. You have to think long and hard about it. You really do. I think that don't be in such a rush to say yes to everything that comes your way. Every opportunity is not an opportunity. I just feel like think long and hard about it. Think long and hard about it. Everything that you think might be a great look might actually be the worst thing for you. So I think that Guerdy needs to reevaluate. Is the stress of being on this show and being gaslit, is it worth it? That interview was hard. Yep, I hope she takes time to heal. Guerdy, please grow from this and listen when people show you who they are. She needs to leave, if not for herself, then for her boys. I agree. I'm so glad Guerdy has Russell. Yeah, it's very heartbreaking. They like to humiliate Black women for entertainment. They want to humble us every time. And it won't work. Julia liked to comment saying that she should have poured the drink over her whole head and body. See, that's why I'm not moved by Julia's tears and these fake apologies, because she's still a very evil woman, and she doesn't mean any of it. She's only saying she's sorry now because of the fan backlash. That's it. I give Guerdy grace because her outlook right now is different. All of these antics are small, but she's going to be good. She should only come back if Nicole is there. I agree that Guerdy should bow out. Listen, you gotta let folks know. You gotta let folks know what it is and what it's not. Yeah, it's not worth your mental health. They needed K. Michelle. Yeah. Marysol and her boozy liver said that Guerdy was equally responsible for the splash. Guerdy is a fool for dealing with the humiliation. Wait, when did Marysol say this? She said this in a recent interview or something? Let me know. Let me know so I can pull it up and we could talk about that. When did this happen? Marysol's talking real crazy for somebody who's an easy read. Marysol has always been an easy read. And I'm going to leave it right there for the time being. But Marysol has a whole lot to say to be such an easy read. She has nothing going on. Julia has very dark energy. Guerdy better have all the smoke for them at the reunion. She did say that in an interview. What? In an interview, she said they were both wrong. She said it in an interview a few weeks back. Hey, Rich the Fish, thank you for the super chat. Yes, I saw it on Twitter. Marysol said it, Brooke. Oh, wow. Marysol really has some nerve. I've never cared for Marysol. I never, oh my gosh, I always thought that she was boring. Just, I don't know why she's on the show. She has no star power, in my opinion. She said it on page 6. Not her pulling a Karen Huger. Oh, I'm sorry. My son heard you saying the jet, the jet, the jet. He yelled, "Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday." I am screaming. She said they were both her fault. Those are her exact words. Instead of calling Dr. Jackie for that run-of-the-mill advice, Guerdy should be calling Kenya getting reading lessons. I agree. The most interesting thing about Marysol still is and was Mama Elsa. Yes. Marysol can take her cockies and leave. Yeah, this is a good point. I feel like this season of Miami is exactly how RHOP season 7 went, where the show is clearly divided. The girls aren't friends and the energy is dark. If they don't fix this, the show is doomed. I agree. This definitely does feel like Potomac season 7 again, for sure. Hey, D Rich 2279, thank you for the super chat. Guerdy has a beautiful, loving family. Husband is fine and adores her. The boys are compassionate and supportive. She don't need this. I agree with you. But a lot of these women though, they get addicted to the fame. And I hope that Guerdy is not somebody who is so addicted to the fame that she would put up with poor treatment just to stay on the show. I mean, only time will tell, but I really hope and pray that Guerdy really reassesses her next steps, because if she signs back on for season 8 and Dr. Nicole is still off the show, it's going to be another hard road, in my opinion. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it for all of this. Hey, Paralegally Exhausted, thank you for the super chat. Tap dancing. Yeah. Are you referring to Kiki? What I was saying earlier about her running back to what's their name? What are their names? Marysol and Alexia is giving very much tap dancing for sure. Hey, Miss Tishalish, thank you for the super chat. They're doing all this to support Alexia and her male-centered ways, but where is the support for Guerdy? Yeah, I agree with you. They don't care about Guerdy, that's why. Miami is joyless because Marysol and Alexia want to be the center. I hate seeing Black women run off these shows, but you got to protect your mental health and maintain your dignity. I agree. Guerdy reminds me of Wendy, and that's my girl, but we all know Wendy endured some poor treatment, even when it wasn't worth it, all for being on TV. Guerdy will do the same, I fear. Yeah, no, let's call a thing a thing. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's call a spade a spade. It's the truth. You told no lies. You told no lies. but Wendy held her own. Yeah, I feel like Wendy held her own. I don't know. That's debatable. If I'm being completely fair, because I was upset with Wendy when she allowed Mia to play in her face later on in the season when they went to Mexico, and then her and Mia started fake flirting with each other, and then they were showing their cats in the bathroom or in their hotel room and kissing in the pool allegedly. Um, I don't know if that's holding your own. And then in season 8, when NECA came on the show and the group was still against her, when Karen had that pickleball event and Dr. Wendy went up to Mia, pretty much begging Mia to be her friend, when Mia hadn't apologized for what she did to her in the last season. So I don't know about, like, I have to, if I'm being honest, I don't know. I can't be, if I'm being fair, I don't really feel like Wendy held her own in season 7 and 8. If I'm being very, and that's just me being from objective, not even as a Dr. Wendy fan. That's just me saying it objectively. Remember how they said yes, yes, Mia was holding her own. She acted like she wanted Mia for a storyline. Yeah, remember that? And they were like, oh yeah, they were kissing in the pool. And then the rumors had come out too about when the season, before the season even started, there was the chatter about 2 Potomac housewives were kissing, making out in the pool on their cast trip. And then the blind item was like Wendy and Mia. And then when we saw the episodes and there was all that chatter about, oh yeah, they were showing their cats in the bathroom, whatever, they were flirting with each other and talk about how sexy the other one was and all this stuff. And then they were alluding to, there was some tongue action in the pool late at night. So allegedly. Why is Guerdy kissing that facelift that ain't even there? Like, my heart is breaking and my soul is leaving. If you can't beat them, kiss them or shower with them. Child, you said you're right. Wendy acts like she was a drunk lesbian for Mia. Then she said that she would F Giselle. Listen, all I'm saying is we all remember, and we were all disappointed in Dr. Wendy for letting all that mess go so quickly. You were assaulted twice because Mia threw the glass at Wendy, and then on top of that, she hit her with her clutch, her cheap clutch, I might add. So it's just like, there's just no way that you're doing that. You're throwing a drink in my face and then hitting me with your clutch and then thinking that I'm going to swap face with you or have any sort of moment like that. Like, that's not happening. Yes, the North remembers. Exactly. Yes, Pepperidge Farm remembers. It's true. Kenya held her own in the first few reunions that she's been on. Yes, you're right. Look at Kenya. The network and production failed to protect her, yet she still wants to come back. This show goes to these women's heads. Oh, it does. That's a conversation in itself. These women cannot let this show go. There are several housewives across all the franchises where I feel like the day their show gets canceled or the day that they're fired, I'm worried for their mental sanity. Like, there are some women who I feel like are so addicted to this that they can't let it go. They will literally they will be in need of help. That, like, some of these women just cannot let this go. They feel they want to be on by hook or crook. Yes, Kyle Richards, I agree. Not to mention Crater Face, but do we believe her new relationship with Bobby Valentino, trying her hardest to get on Atlanta? Oh, I don't, she's gonna have to come a bit harder to get on Atlanta. I think that Bravo is done with Mia. I think that the only hope that she has to come back onto Housewives is going back to Potomac. I don't think that Andy found Mia to be that great of a housewife for him to put her on Atlanta. She didn't have anything on Potomac. She's not going to have anything in Atlanta. I don't see it. And nobody cares about Bobby Valentino either. So yeah, try again. Yeah, Dorinda can't let it go either. Dorinda can't let it go. And okay, I'm gonna be honest. Can we be real? Cynthia can't let it go either. Can we be real today? I feel Cynthia can't let it go. Like you said, Dorinda can't let it go. The Jersey women can't let it go. You have Dolores still talking about the fact that, New Jersey is off the air. She's mad about it. I mean, these women can't let it go. Several of them can't let it go. Okay. Yeah, Bobby Valentino goes with anybody. Yeah, Dorinda's still saying that she's on pause. She's delusional. Delusional. You said Portia will whoop her behind. She can't keep up with Angela, Sheree, and Drew. Yeah, now Dolores is trying to be on Rhode Island for camera time too. Yeah, the OGs and veterans cannot let it go. Nene too. Yeah, you're right about absolutely. Tamra. Oh yes, she did on her podcast. She did say that because she was on Big Brother. She was on some other show. She did some game show. She said on that was in Scotland. She literally said that she will cry if she's off of TV. I'm like, that's sad. That's really sad. Yes, Jen Fessler. You said watch Cynthia pop up in Rhode Island. You're right. You're being real, Brooke. Cynthia has to accept her time, that her time on Housewives has come and gone. She's nothing left to give. Yeah, it's true. They just can't let it go. That's a sad way to be. You have to know when to leave the fair. These women want to stay on TV until we're so sick of them that we just push them out. My thing is, I was always taught two big things when it comes to events that also apply to real life and any other situation. Never overstay your welcome. Never overstay your welcome. Leave people wanting more. Don't let leave on a high note. Don't have to be pushed out the door. A lot of these women are it's like the equivalent of staying at a party or staying at the club when the lights are on, the janitor's there sweeping up, somebody's there with the lampshade over them, like the bar has been closed. Like, you never want to be the last to leave the party. Learn how to leave on a high note. That goes for anything. And on that note, let me leave on a high note because we've already been here for 2 hours and some change. So I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave on a high note. Okay. I don't want to overstay my welcome. So with that being said, y'all, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it right here. Thank you guys. Thank y'all for rocking with me, and I hope you guys enjoyed the live. Always a good time. But I'll see you guys for OC. OC is gonna be late, just so you know. OC is gonna be next week. Okay, so don't be all like, okay, where's OC? OC is gonna be late. All right, but I will see you all for OC one of these days soon. But guys, have a wonderful rest of your evening. Have a great weekend, and I will see you all later, okay? But guys, have a great night. Bye, y'all. Always a good time. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you to my moderators. You guys do a great job. Thank you for everybody who super chatted. Always a good time, but I'll see y'all later. Bye, guys.